Several people have been less than ecstatic about idle running Python, sometimes having issues with spaces and tabs converting inappropriately, which just makes your life a little more challenging. So what I'd like to show you in this video briefly is how to go about getting Python 64 installed on your machine, making sure that the path actually is installed and updated so Windows knows where it is. We're also then going to download and install an IDE called Atom. It's a pretty popular editing tool, and it's available on all platforms. So Windows, PC, Mac, Linux, you name it. So it's a pretty big platform out there. Then we're also going to figure out how to make a little tweak to Atom so that we can then hit F5 to run your Python code straight from init. And last but not least, we're going to then load up some code like the rock, paper, scissors one and do a little editing with that. Okay, so let's dive in. So first thing is you need to go ahead and search for a download of Python, the 64-bit version. And you'll notice that we've got a couple choices down here. Download Windows and then 64 executable installer. I'm going to do that one. Cool, that looks good. So it's downloaded. Go ahead and open it up. Let's do a custom install, and we're also going to make sure we click on Add Python 3.7 to Path. That makes Windows more likely to find Python things on your machine. Custom installation, that all looks good. And we'll install it for all users. Okay, those settings all look good. Let's go ahead and install. Pause for a second while that's happening. All right, so that looks good, and we get the successful message. Cool. Then the next thing we want to do is install a program called Atom, and that is, as mentioned, an editing tool. It's a pretty popular one. And we also want to go ahead and look for the Windows version. It says it's 64-bit also, so that's cool. We'll do that. And I'll pause while that's downloading. Actually, it'll be pretty quick, I think. So let's go ahead and let it download fast. Awesome. So it's downloaded. Let's go ahead and install that. This likewise can take a little bit of time to install, so I'll go ahead and pause and let the installation process take place. And straight away after installation, Atom launches. It wants to know if it wants it to be the default for some Atom type things. We'll say yes. And then straight away what we want to do is get a package in here that's going to make it easier for us to run some code. So big picture, what we're trying to do is install a package called Atom Python Run, and then from there on it'll tell us how to do things. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, the package I'm looking for has to do with Python and a path. So I'm going to type that in here. And this is the little dude I'm looking for right here, Atom Python Run. So I'll hit install. And that'll take a second, so I'll pause again. Okay, so that's now finished. I can see it's got some things, some settings, and I can uninstall it or disable it. Click on here and go to their web page. But I'm ready to actually do some coding, so I'm going to go to this Untitled tab over here. And then just to have something to run, I'm going to go ahead and grab the code from the rock, paper, scissors. Remember the link here, you can go grab the code directly. You don't have to type it up again. Alright, so I've got this in here. It doesn't have any kind of Python color coding to it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on, for now I'll just use the documents folder, and I'll say RPS starter .py. Okay, and then straight away you can see that it now has some colored coding going on to it. And what I really want to be able to do though is run the code. So I've cleaned up my screen a little bit, just move things around, get some more space for my code. I can also shrink some things altogether, like the project area. Then I've got more space for my code, and I can rearrange things. So to actually run this, then I want to hit F5. So I'm just going to move this over here a second. And when I press F5, it automatically opened up then in this nice little window for me. And there I can see the code running. So for instance, choose rock, enter, and I won. Sweet. Okay, so that's about all there is to it. It was a 3-part process of getting Python, the 64-bit version, telling it to go ahead and keep our path, getting Atom installed, that happened to be also 64-bit version. We also then located, once we had Atom installed, we located the Atom Python run, installed that, and that is what allowed us to be able to just hit F5 once we have source code up on our screen like this, and then it brought up our little executable window with the code running. All right, there you have it. So do this on your own machine and make sure it's the one you're going to be using for the exam.